parting shot, but it doesn't work because I have good as gold. He just threw away his turn. You gotta one-shot him. You gotta one-shot this thing now. Goodbye. Doesn't do that much to their Rangaroo though for some reason, but it just one-shots the Grimmsnarl, which ain't a surprise, it's under-leveled. What is up everybody, back with some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Regulation H, VGC. Haxorus is one of the dragon types that I think is really falling under the radar for Regulation H in the current format. This thing has a really good attack stat of 147, which is one of the highest attack stats in the entire format, and it also has a decent speed of 97, which outspeeds a lot of your like base 90s and 95 speed and anything in between type stuff. It also is pretty good because the format's kind of running more of a bulky type of format where a lot of stuff's running more bulk and not as much speed currently. So even the 97 speed stat even does a lot more for you, just because you're able to outspeed a lot more stuff with everything being just naturally slower than you. So there's actually a team around the Dragon Cheer, Mold Breaker, Haxorus, which is one of the really cool things that Haxorus can do. With Mold Breaker, you can actually bypass good as gold and actually Dragon Cheer a Gholdengo that is Terra Dragon, getting yourself infinite crits with a scope lens. So that's a kind of a really cool tech that Haxorus does. And also with Mold Breaker, like you have a few other things, so I think you get Taunt and a few other things, so like stuff that has like Magic Bounce, for example, or that type of thing. I think even with like, I think Terrain, I think since you have Mold Breaker, I'm not sure if First Impression works on Terrain, if it's set by an ability, or if that's just different, but you could also bypass Terrain. Let me know if that's how it works in the comments down below. I never knew if actually like First Impression, since it's like a priority move on the first turn, usually most of the time if that actually bypasses Terrain, if it's set by an ability. I'm not 100% sure if that's how it works. But there's a few other interactions it has, like there's a few other supportive moves that can kind of have, like another example is like Mold Breaker. Like you can taunt like a Hatterene that has like Magic Bounce, or like an Espeon that has like Magic Bounce, or an opposing Gholdengo that has Magic Bounce or good as gold, and kind of bypass it that way with Mold Breaker. And like Levitate with Earthquake, like Rotom. There's a few other things in the format that have Levitate that are not really that common, but you'll see maybe once in a while. So Bronzong's kind of, I don't know, on a few teams with like Trick Room and stuff. There's a few other things, so I don't know. Apart from that, there's a really cool mon, and keep in mind, there's actually a team. The main reason I actually wanted to feature this team for you guys is just because I was actually building this identical team. This team is pretty much almost identical to a team I've been building for like the past 2 weeks around this exact same thing. Haxorus was a mon that I was actually building around for a while, and I wanted to build around for a while. And I was actually in like the testing phase of like testing teams, and I was kind of finalizing a team. This team is literally identical to the team that I have. The only difference is my team never had a Alolan Ninetales. I had a Whimsicott on my team for the Fairy type and the Grass type, so that would kind of round out the Fire, Water, Grass score instead of the Fairy Dragon Steel. So that's kind of what I did instead. But apart from that, the team is pretty much identical. Like, don't get me wrong, there's moveset differences and like there's item differences and stuff, but like my team was literally like the same. The only difference is, which I'll run through at the end after I go through this team, like I'll talk about my team and why it's similar to this, kind of why I wanted to feature this. But there was a lot of similarities with this team, so I figured I might as well just feature this team instead of building my team in game, and I'll just build around something else. There's a few other mons I was going to build around anyways. I wasn't really seeing like an incredible amount of success with this type of team on Showdown to justify trying to build it in game, so that's kind of why I never ended up building in game so far. I was just still kind of testing it and finalizing it on Showdown to try to get high enough on the ladder to see if it actually is good or not. So this team by Ben, or I think it's Undead25. So if you guys want to use this team, paste should be down below, rental up in the corner. I'm going to kind of run through this team and kind of what it's really supposed to do, and then we're going to hop in some games. But going to be a little bit more of an in-depth like start to this video, because I also want to explain my team and how it's similar to this team and what I actually ran. So because I do have pretty much like almost the same experience running a lot of these mons. So like over the last few weeks with my team, that's kind of just pretty much really similar. So even though the movesets are a little bit different. You have the Gholdengo on this team. What this actually does with Terra Dragon is, alongside the Haxorus, you have Mold Breaker, which bypasses good as gold. So you're able to use Dragon Cheer on your Terra Dragon Gholdengo, give it the +2 critical hit ratio, and with the Scope Lens, you pretty much have guaranteed crits. So even with Make It Rain, if you get stat drops, it just keeps doing the same amount of damage. So you're just hitting crazy amounts of damage and just being able to spam Make It Rain off of a really solid speed stat, alongside the Haxorus, which also is still really powerful once you get the Dragon Cheer and everything set up. And then you're able to just sit there and spam damage pretty much without having to worry about stat drops, because you're constantly critting with the Dragon Cheer being active and having pretty much +3 crit ratio. That's kind of what it really is. So, it also fills out like the Dragon Steel Fairy core, at least for this team. So, that's kind of what it really does. And the Dragon typing on the Gholdengo is also pretty good, at least defensively. You get rid of the Fire weakness and a few other things that you don't really want to go against. So, overall, that's kind of what it really is. You got the Haxorus on this team with the Expert Belt. You have the Break and Swipe there. You have the Terra Steel for a defensive Terra. And then you have the Dragon Cheer there. And then Stomping Tantrum for single target ground type damage. So, I don't know. Maybe you could have justified running Earthquake on this team, because you do have Protect and you have Talonflame to pair it alongside of, which could have been really good. I'm not sure. But, got the Talonflame on this team with the Stellar Terra. You got the Priority Tailwind there, or Brave Bird with the Gale Wings. And then you have the Taunt there for a really fast taunt. Just overall more of a, kind of like a semi-offensive mon that hopefully doesn't get intimidated. If it gets intimidated, then its damage is pretty much nothing, because its attack stat's pretty bad anyways. But with the Stellar Terra boost, you can maybe do some decent damage sometimes. It's kind of what's really there for. It's mainly for the Tailwind. That's kind of what you're going to be using it for. Got the Light Clay Ninetales on this team just for weather control, and it also fills out your Fairy Dragon Steel core for this team. You got the Roar Veil there, the Freeze Dry. No Blizzard, really interesting. And he's got Protection Encore, so we're going to see how that does. The Life Orb, Ursaluno with Terra Normal is a really standard set. And then you have the Terra Dark Quaquaval on this team for a kind of more of a soft check to size spam, even though you have no Dark type move, which is really weird with the safety goggles. So, at least for my team, like now I'm going to kind of go through what I ran, at least on my team in testing, and why it's so similar to this team. The Ninetales I never had on my team. I actually think I had, it was a not a Pollen Puff, I think it was a Cotton Spore Whimsicott with Tailwind. It was more of an offensive Whimsicott too, with like max speed, max special attack, I think is what it was. And I think it had Sash. I think it was like a Sash Whimsicott or something. I think that's what I ended up having on this team instead, as like a second Tailwind mon, more of an offensive one to pair alongside like the Haxorus or a few other things. That's what I had instead of the Ninetales for like speed control and stuff too. My Haxorus, at least on my team, I was running Loaded Dice with Scale Shot. I think I had Scale Shot. I think it was Iron Head. I was still Terra Steel. It was with Iron Head. Swords Dance and Protect, I think is what it had on mine. I think that's why I was running with, or not Swords Dance, it was Dragon Cheer and Protect, not Swords Dance. Dragon Cheer and Protect, that's my Haxorus, was what I had on mine. The Gholdengo was literally the same. The copy paste for the Gholdengo on this team was literally the same one on my team. Kind of what I had. I think instead of Thunderbolt, I might have had Recover instead. I'm not sure though. I think I ended up switching it to Thunderbolt towards the end for coverage, for stuff like Pelipper and a few other things in Rain that this team would have really struggled with. I had the Talonflame too. I never had Covert Cloak Talonflame. I think I had Citrus Berry Talonflame is what I was running. Pretty much the exact same set though with Terra Stellar, just a different item. I don't know if the EVs are the same, but that's kind of the gist of it. The Ursaluno was pretty much the same. It was under like a max speed, max special attack. Ursaluno with Terra Normal Life Orb. Pretty much the exact same set as this one I was running on my team, with this variant of this team. And then at least from what I had Quaquaval on my team with Terra Dark. But my Quaquaval, at least the one I had on my team, was Choice Banded with Knockoff instead of Ice Spinner. And then instead of Aqua Step, I actually threw Wave Crash on the set instead. And then I think I had U-Turn for like the last move. I think that's what it was. So, a little bit of a different team, but like literally like almost identical to this team apart from a few items and a few different types of moves. So, and I figured I want to kind of feature this team for you guys because I was probably going to end up making it anyways. And it's almost identical to what I was running. So, instead of me wasting the time making this team in-game and still testing it further on Showdown, I might as well just feature this team for you guys and see how it does. And then I can maybe build around something else that's a little bit more interesting, or see how it goes, or maybe even change my team to see how it does, depending on this. So, let's hop in some games. Alright, we hear the match. We're actually going against a Dondozot Tatsugiri team. Dondozot Tatsugiri, Talonflame, Gholdengo, Palmont, and Rotom Heat. This looks like a really good match where I can like just literally just bring Haxorus, Gholdengo turn 1. It could be a bit ballsy because Talonflame can like do some damage to me, but if I can just crit through the Dondozot, it can't do shit to me anyways, which I think is kind of good here. His team's also kind of slower. It's not really the fastest at all too, so it's gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna bring the Ninetales for the Veil and the Freeze Dry. Looks pretty good versus him. And then Quaquaval here is my last mon. Looks really good. I guess Blood Moon wouldn't have been too bad either, but like that's just another thing that's weak to Dozo. Kind of a toss-up what I bring as my last pawn, actually. If you guys liking the videos, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Really helps out the channel. On our way to 2,000 subscribers, so if you guys are new, really appreciate you if you guys would sub. Just leave Gholdengo Talonflame. This kind of sucks for me because he's going to get Tailwind up turn 1 and I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm going to Dragon Cheer here. Like that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to Dragon Cheer. And I'm going to go for Terra Dragon here and go for Make It Rain. I think that's what I'm going to do here. I think he might actually just Tailwind here, though. If he Tailwinds and I go Terra Dragon, if he's Choice Specs Gholdengo, I think he might just one-shot both of my mons. So this is really risky, actually. I could actually just lose turn 1. Is he Choice Specs Gholdengo? Shadow Ball. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. I don't know if that's Specs damage. See how much this actually does. This is a Make It Rain with a +3 crit ratio. It's a 2-shot on Talonflame. I don't know if it really matters that much, so I think I just protect the Gholdengo on this turn. Try to do some damage here. I'm going to Breaking Swipe. And I'm going to protect on this turn, predicting like a Shadow Ball or a Brave Bird. He's running like a fully supportive Talonflame with like Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, and Tailwind. That has to be what this shit is. He has Dazzling Gleam too. Wow, it actually does a lot of damage. That's surprising. Wow, that does nothing. I don't know. I want to switch the Gholdengo out. I really do, but like, does it pay keeping it around at this point in the game? I don't know. I don't know if it does. I could protect the Haxorus too, but like Haxorus really does nothing for me here at all. I'm just gonna go for Make It Rain again. Will-O-Wisp. He actually misclicks. It's not how it works, bro. The reason why it works is because I have Mold Breaker. You don't have Mold Breaker last I checked. I don't know, this kind of... The main problem with it is like the Tailwind shit. Like that's also another problem I had on Showdown. That's kind of why I had like a lot of speed control on my team. That's why I had Whimsicott with like Cotton Spore on my variant of this team. Because the main issues I was having, like this for example, is like the Tailwind, opposing matching Tailwind, or like speed control. Because if they outspeed like this duo of the Haxorus and the Gholdengo, they just do more damage to you and just outspeed you 2 turns in a row, which you don't want. I can't really stop that here though, which kind of sucks. Like he just goes for Will-O-Wisp here onto the Quaquaval here. So I'm forced to protect the Quaquaval. But like under Tailwind, he just clicks Make It Rain here anyways, so I think I'm still fucked. He has 1 turn of Tailwind left, so I'm gonna try to Freeze Dry here, and I'm gonna go after the Talonflame so he's not able to reset his Tailwind again, and I'm just gonna, I don't know, that doesn't even pay going for Detect here. I'm just gonna Aqua Step. I think no matter what, like, I kind of just lose the game at this point in the match, because if he has Dondozot Tatsugiri in the back, it just comes in and cleans up the match, and I just instantly lose. Just make it rain. So the Ninetales literally does nothing. That's the main issue with this team, that like it gets outsped by this other Tailwind stuff, so if you don't bring Tailwind, the Ninetales really doesn't help with that either. Unfortunately, like, it's good for the Aurora Veil, but I think speed control is overall way better, is kind of what you want with this type of stuff. So like if the enemy team has the opposing Tailwind and you don't have your type of speed control, like that's the main issue. This team really struggles. It just gets outsped by everything and you're not able to do your damage numbers that you need. I don't know, I think he just goes into Tatsugiri here. I'm just going to surrender. There's no way I win this. If he has Tatsugiri in the back, he just wins anyways, which I think he just goes into right now and just wins. So I'm just going to surrender. There's no point in wasting many of your guys' time. That sucks. That really sucks. I wish he never had Will-O-Wisp on Talonflame there too. That would have helped a little bit, because the break swipe would have killed the Talonflame way sooner if I wasn't Will-O-Wisp, but I don't know. I don't think it really mattered at that point in the game if you had Dondozot Tatsugiri in the back. Just a really bad matchup there because I never brought any of my own Tailwinds and I never had any speed control on my team. So I was just able to get outsped and fucking destroyed by how much damage he was able to do. That's the main problem. Hopefully we redeem ourselves in this next match. Alright, we have another game. My opponent's running like quadruple restricted. That's really nice. He's running shit that's not even legal. I guess Oki or Monkey Dory is, but just nobody ever uses it. Opponent has Lugia, Koraidon, Terrapagos, Greninja, Ogerpon, Stone, and Monkey Dory, which I haven't seen in forever. What do I even do here? I need Snow because I want to change his weather. The Ninetales actually doesn't look too bad here. I just don't think I want to lead with Ninetales for this match, though. I want Tailwind, so I'm going to bring Talonflame. Sure, bring Talonflame here. I think I'm just going to lead Talonflame, and then I'll lead, like, Ursaluna. I'll bring Ninetales in the back. Part of me actually kind of wants to just bring Gholdengo Haxorus in the back and just try to go that way. That wouldn't be too bad either. If I can get Tailwind up, I think that wouldn't be too bad. I'm going to go for Ninetales here. I'm going to bring Haxorus Gholdengo in the back. If I can get Aurora Veil up and he doesn't change my weather, that'd be great. And then I can just try to go for that stuff later on once he gets the KO on the Ninetales and the Talonflame drops to probably like recoil. And it's also pretty good into Koraidon. I can do some solid damage. How the fuck does my Ninetales outspeed Koraidon when Koraidon has 135 base speed? So he gets his son up here because he's slower than me somehow. How does that work? I mean, I'm just gonna go for Freeze Dry here, I guess. I don't know, I don't want to switch out because I want to keep the Gholdengo and the Haxorus as healthy as possible. Does okay amount of damage. That's resisted and still a 2-hit KO. It's still a 2-hit KO and that's resisted. Extra sensory. Okay. I haven't seen that on Lugia in forever. Why you're running that over Psychic or Psyshock, I have no clue. Or even like Psychic Noise. I don't know, I'm going to Tailwind, or I'm going to go for Brave Bird here and just get rid of the Talonflame. I'm probably just die to recoil anyways. And then I'm going to Freeze Dry to break his multi-scale. Probably dead to recoil. I actually live. Does nothing because he has multi-scale. There's Arrow Blast. I don't know why he never went for that last turn. It actually does less. It does less damage for some reason. I'm going to double into Terrapagos here just because I want to break his Terra Shell. I'm going to freeze dry here again. I want him to kill both of these mons. That's what I want, so I can get a free switch out into the Gholdengo and stuff. Like, even as long as I have at least like one turn of Tailwind left, I think that's all I really need. She gets a high roll there. Because it didn't do that much damage last time, so you must have got a really low roll. Here we go, y'all. We got one turn of Tailwind left. Both of my opponent's mons are in range to where a crit make it rain can maybe pick up a KO. I think this is the time where it's going to shine. Best opportunity to try to make this work. I'm going to go for Make It Rain here. And then, actually I got a Terra. I forgot I got a Terra. I'm going to Terra Dragon here and Make It Rain. And then I'm going to go for the Dragon Shear here on this turn. Well, he's gonna Terra too. What do you Terra? Psychic? Oh, he's gonna Terra this. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Can I Make It Rain from this range actually one-shot the Terrapagos with a crit? It's gonna be really close. I don't know if it actually will. It depends on his build. If he's running a bulky or like a fully offensive one. They both. It does a shit ton of damage, but they both barely live. Air Blast, that does nothing. Do I even live this? I barely do. It's gonna come down. Holy shit! This is gonna be a down to the wire match. I think with Tailwind he might outspeed me, but like then again, this guy had no speed on Koraidon, so I don't know if he even has what his EVs are. He outspeeds me. That's unfortunate though. This team's really difficult to work if you don't have Tailwind or like speed control. I really don't like the Ninetales on this team. I really don't. I feel like it just doesn't really do anything. That's my main gripe with this team so far. Like I think the Ninetales needs to go. It just doesn't do anything. And if it wanted to be on this team, I think what it really needs, instead of Freeze Dry, it needs either Blizzard or it needs AC Wind for speed control. That's what it really needs. Just to get rid of Protect on the moveset for it, or just to get rid of the Ice or the Freeze Dry and switch it out for one of those two moves. I think that's what it really needs. Or Aurora Veil. You can bypass the Aurora Veil and just go for like speed control Ninetales too, which ain't bad. So I don't know. I think that's my main problem with this team so far. But I don't know, we're going to try to get a win. I don't know, I'm doing really bad, but I think it's just because I'm going against I'm going against like literally like triple legendary team. Like I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to win versus that, so. And like the match before that, I just had really bad luck, so. I don't know, I'm going to try to at least get a few dubs with this team. I'll see you guys in another match. Hopefully we'll have better luck. We're here with another match. My opponent's running Clodsire, Grimmsnarl, Oranguru, Basculegion, Dragapult, and King Gambit. So he's running like a Basculegion with no rain. Really a weird team. What do I want to do here? I kind of want to just go for like the crit stuff on like turn 1. That wouldn't be too bad, but like Dragapult is just such a problem. That's the main issue. I don't know, I'm going to lead Gholdengo Haxorus. I'm going to try to go for it here. Like, it ain't bad into his team. Like, steel spam ain't bad into his team at all, so I'm gonna try to go for it here and see if it actually works. I'm gonna bring the Ninetales just specifically for like the Clodsire and for the Dragapult. What else I want to bring here? I guess Ninetales ain't too bad. His team is kind of slow though, like apart from like Dragapult and maybe Scarf Basculegion, his team is really slow. I don't know if I really need Tailwind here. I think I'm gonna bring the Quaquaval here. I think that's what I bring. I just noticed too his Grimmsnarl's not level 50. I just noticed that like right before it went away off the screen. So if he brings Grimmsnarl, we're gonna have an advantage level-wise because it's not level 50 for some reason. This ain't bad. This is not bad. Do I just full send it here though? Do I just full send? He's level 42. Like I'm not scared of that at all. I'm gonna full send. I'm gonna full send YOLO turn 1. We're going Terra Dragon. We're gonna make it rain, and I'm gonna go for Dragon Cheer turn 1. We're gonna make this work. I'm just gonna send full send. If there was an opportunity to do it, it's now. He didn't leave with a Dragapult. He doesn't have King Gambit to try to sucker punch. Like it's perfect. Even if he throws up a screen. Parting shot, but it doesn't work because I have good as gold. He just threw away his turn. You gotta one-shot him. You gotta one-shot this thing now. Goodbye. Doesn't do that much to their Rangaroo though for some reason, but it just one-shots the Grimmsnarl. Which ain't a surprise, it's under-leveled. That thing out of here. Just Bulldoze, okay. Bulldoze or Rangaroo? This is actually kind of bad. Dragapult's bad. So I think what I want to do here is I'm going to protect. I'm going to protect the Gholdengo and I'm going to switch out into the Ninetales here. So if he goes for Dragon Darts, it'll bounce off. He just surrenders. He literally just gives up. I was gonna say if I switch out and I protect, if he goes for Dragon Darts, it'll bounce off the protect and it'll hit 2 times into the Ninetales. But because I'm a Fairy type, it won't work. So I get a free turn on switching. Doesn't matter though. He just gives up. He literally just gives up. Okay. I don't know if I'll include this into the video for you guys. If I do, I'll just throw it in as like a bonus. But I'll look for one more match. Alright, we're here with another game. The issue I'm having tonight with the casual ladder is everybody's using Regulation F or Regulation G teams, or like teams like this. One has Mew, Hisuian Decidueye, Cleaver, Greninja, Walking Wake, and Ogre Pond Water. Like, this would be a good game for like the Gholdengo and the Haxorus, but like half his team outspeeds me. I need Tailwind here, like I really need Tailwind, I think that's the main thing. I'm going to lead Talonflame Haxorus here, I'm going to bring Gholdengo in the back, I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'll bring the Gholdengo in the back. I think Ninetales ain't too bad here. Only main issue is if he has like, if he's Terra Fire, Flamethrower, Walking Wake, and like Cleaver could be a bit of an issue, but apart from that, it ain't too bad into his team. Like, I have Freeze Dry for like 3 things. So I'm going to try to bring the Ninetales again and see if it works. I know that the Ninetales has been letting me down a lot of matches, though. I'm not very high on the Ninetales. I haven't even used Encore once on this thing either. I think the Encore is... I know why it's there, but like, I don't know, I haven't had a chance to really get any value out of it at all for like every single match I've brought this thing. Okay, this could be good though. Like, I'm fine with the Talonflame getting one-shotted by a Stone Axe on turn 1. I'm just going to Tailwind here and I'm going to go for Breaking Swipe. That gives me the switch right onto the Gholdengo with 3 turns of Tailwind, so... fine. As long as the Haxorus doesn't get one-shotted by something here. Light screen, that's fine. Crit goes behind a screen, so it doesn't matter. There's the Stone Axe, I'm dead, perfect. You can go right out into Gholdengo with 3 turns of Tailwind. I'm just gonna full send this shit. We're gonna full send this. Pedal to the floor, YOLO, full send again. We're gonna make this shit fucking work. YOLO. And now I'm a Dragon Shear. It's the double KO, that's nice. That screen sure didn't matter, bud, because I got go right through the screen with a crit, so it doesn't matter. Huge turn 2, perfect. This is what we really wanted. We've been looking for this exact scenario for like the last 3 or 4 games. 2 turns of Tailwind left, like we're fully set up pretty much. Or Ninja, oh that ain't gonna save you, bud. Unless you're Sash, maybe you'll live. Ogre Pawn, maybe the Ogre Pawn will live. I'm just gonna make it rain here. Keep on making it rain. I guess Ogre Pawn will probably live here. Because if he's Terra Water, he gets the special defense boost, so he'll for sure live. It's just the steel type move's no longer 4 times resisted anymore, it's only 2 times, so it'll do a little bit more damage. I don't know how much though, because of the Spit F boost kind of, it doesn't matter, he goes for Spiky Shield. Shadow Sneak, okay. That does 20 damage. Two-hit KO. I got a crit there. I don't know if that mattered. I get rid of the Greninja. I think my opponent's on its way to surrendering. Like, I don't know how you win this, bud. You don't even know my last mon, and I have 9 kills in the back with Freeze Drive for you. And I can Encore you into Spiky Shield. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go for Thunderbolt now. And see if that can get a crit. And I'm going to Breaking Swipe to lower your attack. Actually, that did over half. So that's a fully offensive Ogre Pawn. There's the crit, nice. What a match. It took us a few games and a few tries, but we finally got it to work, y'all. The Gholdengo Dragon Shear Haxorus combo. Finally got it to work. It just took a little while. Is it the most consistent thing ever? Probably not. There's a lot of drawbacks, which I'll talk about towards the end of this video with this combo. At least that I found out too with playing with my own team with this. But it is fun when it does work. It can catch a lot of people off guard, and like it is pretty kind of it's brain dead where you can kind of click whatever you want and just do a fuck ton of damage without having to worry about stat drops or anything. So kind of cool. Let's talk a little bit more about this team. Alright, as for this team, is the Gholdengo Haxorus Mold Breaker Dragon Shear stuff, is this actually really good, or is there some problems with it? Overall, I think if you can make it work, it actually does work very well. The main issues, though, is there's 2 main issues that really hold this kind of combo back, that I, at least from like playing with my own team, and especially this team, that really hold it back. The main thing is you need speed control. That's the main issue with it. If you don't have speed control like Tailwind, or like this team doesn't have Icy Wind or anything, but like I had Pollen Puff on my team with Whimsicott. If you don't have any of those, or like any way to control speed, if the Gholdengo and the Haxorus get outsped on the first turn before you're able to set up the Dragon Cheer, or on the following turn where you don't have that much health anyways. It could be a huge problem because if you don't KO what's on the other side of the field, usually on the second turn you end up just getting one-shotted back anyways. And like all that setup plus wasting your Terra goes down the toilet and you kind of just lose 2 mons automatically. That's the main issue. So if you're going against opposing Tailwind or like Thunder Wave stuff or like Icy Wind, Electro Web's pretty common with like Electabuzz and a few other things currently. There's a few other stuff that's being ran for like speed control too, so any of that type of stuff does kind of make this team struggle a little bit. The other main thing too is you're also, if you want to make this combo work, you have to dedicate a Dragon Terra, and you're doubling up on the Dragon types at the same time. So if the opponent, like, I know there's a few teams where I went against like Sylveon, like Terra Fire Sylveon. If they go like Terra Fire Sylveon or like Terra Steel Primarina, which is also really common currently, Moonblast just fucking destroys like that type of combo. Sylveon really destroys that type of thing. Primarina is really common. It's a really good check into that with like Terra Steel or Terra Grass sometimes. There's a few other things too, like some other fairy types that are can kind of counter that. So I think Clefable's another one too that's usually runs like Terra Steel, which can kind of just tank whatever you really want to go for and kind of just hit you back for decent amounts of damage. Most of them are supportive, but even though they're supportive, they still do a lot of damage into you. And the Haxorus cannot really touch the Clefable at all, apart from Stomping Tantrum. So another thing too is like a lot of like other faster opposing dragon types. If you don't have speed control, there's a lot of other dragon types that just outspeed you. 3 of the main ones are actually Hydreigon, which is the most common. Hydreigon's one. Garchomp is also pretty common, which is a over base 100 speed, which outspeeds both the Gholdengo and the Haxorus without any speed control. Does a shit ton of work and puts in a bunch of work versus both of those. And then the other main one that this team really struggles with, and I guess both of the teams really struggle, this team and my team kind of struggled with a little bit, was Dragapult, which is also really common, which is usually choice banded. So if you're doubling up on the dragon types, Dragon Darts, especially if it's like choice banded, just really hurts. It really does. And if you don't have a fairy type on your team and kind of try to play around that, or like any type of speed control stuff, it can be kind of a pain in the ass to play around. So I don't know. Overall, I think it's really fun. If you guys want a really fun team, like this kind of stuff is kind of really fun. I don't think it's really like a high tier strategy to really get you on higher tiers though. Maybe it's just because I haven't perfected my own team enough, or this team really isn't the greatest, but at least for this team, the one thing I would change is either I would change the moveset on the Ninetales to get rid of Encore and throw Icy Wind or Blizzard onto this moveset. I think that'd be a little bit better, and get rid of Protect. Either get rid of Aurora Veil and change the item to something else, or keep Aurora Veil and get rid of Protect for Blizzard and then throw Icy Wind onto this moveset. I think that'd be a little bit better. And then if you want a fairy type move, you could also throw like Moonblast on there, or Dazzling Gleam would also be pretty good for a lot of the other opposing dragons that this team doesn't really want to go against very much. So I don't know. That's at least what I would do. A lot of my matches, the Ninetales kind of showed up and it just did a little bit of damage, and that's about all it really did. Didn't really stick around long enough to get the Aurora Veil up, or it was constantly fighting opposing weather to try to get the Aurora Veil up, and it ended up failing most of the time. So that's kind of what happened with me. Maybe I just had some bad luck. I don't know. But apart from that, the rest of the team ain't too bad. It just comes down to, is it actually like a real high tier team? Like, will this shit get higher, like a real high rating on the ladder, like in the ranked ladder? I don't know. I'd probably have to test it a lot more, but I don't know if I'll be testing it much more after playing this team and like kind of knowing what it really wants to do now, because I don't think I'll be building my own team like this in game. So, because this team is pretty much identical to mine, apart from like 1 or 2 things and a few different moves and movesets and stuff. So I don't know. I'll probably be building around something else, kind of testing a few other things that are kind of interesting. I might experiment with a little bit more and kind of test some other stuff with it, but as for like, I think building this team, at least for myself in game, I don't think I will be doing that anytime soon. But if you guys want to use a team, Rental in the Corner, really fun team to use and kind of a really cool strategy to try to make work. Rental in the Corner, page should be down below. If you guys enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. I'm gonna get out of here. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching.